So good morning, Miss Anne, maybe Kirsten too. I hope you're doing great. So if no question is asked, so will try to review the Flower Garland Sutra. So in Chinese, the whole title is 大方广佛华严经. So again, 大方广 basically is beyond space-time. There's a ultimate reality that beyond space-time. Beyond space-time actually means it's not. So if I use geometry, so if you say there's a watch, here is a box contains a watch. So the watch is in the plane of this, how to say, vertical plane. So this watch in this dimension, but it cannot be this dimension, which means this two-dimensional picture of watch is in the three-dimensional space. Make sense? So in this perspective, three-dimensional space is beyond this two-dimensional plane. So in the same way, if you look at space-time as a four-dimensional entity, there's something beyond this four-dimensional entity. As we are, if we are living in a two-dimensional plane, it seems that this watch, if it's conscious being, it does not understand the three-dimensional space. It's like an ant. If there's ant crawling on this plane, he can crawl again forever on this vertical plane, but he can never touch a space that beyond this plane. Make sense? But this plane, the plane or the ant crawling is included in the three-dimensional space. But an ant crawling on this vertical plane can never understand there's a space beyond this plane. It is crawling. So in the same way, our mind seems can only understand four-dimensional world, but actually the ultimate truth is beyond four-dimensional. Actually, the science is talking about this too. There's ultimate truth includes four-dimensional space-time. So that's ultimate. Actually, you are it already, but the mind cannot grasp it. Like we are, like the ant crawling on this plane, we are the human being walking on this four-dimensional phenomenal world. We don't understand. Just like the ant don't understand, there's a space beyond this vertical plane. Makes sense? 大方广 means beyond space-time. It's beyond past, present, and future. Because time It's in Buddha's teaching, we call it beginningless. So a beginning without time. It's really hard to grasp it by the mind. 大方广佛华严. So for the awakened one who sees the truth, the reality that beyond space-time, while he can enjoy every event happened, and will happen in a space-time. That's called awakening. For awakened one does not identify with his body mind anymore, his or her body mind anymore, but he knows his body mind is a temporary expression in the world. You are in the world, but you are not of this world, like Jesus' teaching. 大方广佛华严，华严经, Hua means the insights of the Buddha. He can see through. He understands the ultimate and the two applications of the ultimate. So the ultimate is unmanifested, unconditioned, infinite, is formless, is beyond space-time. But once there's a external factor or any movement, so once there's a energy movement, let's say energetic movement, it will turn into 心, 本心, so pure awareness. The absolute change turns into a pure awareness because of that energetic movement. That's the first application of the awareness, the first application of the absolute. So it's like, again, the deep sleep without dream. You know nothing because absolute is not manifested yet. There's no world, there's no experience because the awareness is not there. But once somebody call your name, so that's how to say, energetic movement externally, and you wake up, the awareness come back, or actually it's simultaneously, so it happens at the same time. The awareness emerges, and then the awareness can reflect anything outside and inside. So it's like a four-dimensional mirror. The basic function of a mirror is to reflect. Make sense? So you're aware, then you're aware of something. You're aware of your name, your body, your room, like your location, the time, the event, the family, and everything else. So 自性清净圆明体因. So in the absolute in Chinese, like Zen Buddhism, especially the sixth patriarch of the Chan, Huineng, he had a verse. 何其自性本自清净，何其自性本自具足，何其自性本无生灭，何其自性能生万法. So all the Buddha's teaching is to teach us to revert to this ultimate, which has an application of awareness. So don't don't be misled or disturbed or distracted by the contents of awareness. Back to the source, the 本心，何其自信，本自具足. So in the ultimate, it's sufficient. It's complete. 本自具足. So it has infinite information, energy, matter unmanifested yet. Even now, even maybe the science call it dark matter, dark energy, dark because it's not manifested. It cannot be measured by any equipment. It does not mean it does not mean it does not exist, but we cannot measure it. So we call it dark energy, dark matter. If you go Google it, it contains more than 96% of the matter of the whole cosmos. We call it dark. So maybe this is the ultimate, which is unmanifested yet and unmeasurable, unconditioned. 何其自信，本自具足. So, but it contains all complete, perfect information that I manage already. Sometimes even scientists now call it virtual particles. Virtual means unmanifested. It's not measurable yet, but it's a potential. There's a huge potentials. Actually, it quite makes sense. So we are made of it, but we don't know its existence. But again, I use that analogy: electricity and the formless energy. So in your house there's electricity. Why? Because there's an application of electricity, right? Your lights can turn on, your computer can turn on, you can turn on your heater. So all the applications of the electricity, but you can never see electric currents, right? You can never see it. In the same way, we are aware. The essence of every human being is that we are aware. Make sense? Without awareness, there's no world, there's no experience. So this essential nature of every human being is the application of the absolute. Just like you can turn on the lights can be turned on because that's the application of the electricity, but you can never see electricity at all. Maybe that's maybe a good analogy for our mind to understand. 何其自信，本自具足. This absolute is already complete and perfect, but unmanifested. So 大方广佛华严. So 佛 is the awakened one. 华 is the wisdom of being. Let's say human being that totally understand the nature of the cosmos, the nature of who we are. It's like the Hua actually is Hua means in the same pronunciation we have Hua, so Hua flower. So flower is a symbol contains of seed. Seed of what? Seed of this wisdom into applied into everyday life. So we have Yan. Hua is the wisdom. Yan is the application of wisdom into everyday life. So what does that mean? So if you have insights of the whole cosmos of who you are, it means you can disidentify with the body mind, identify with the absolute or the Xin or the pure awareness. The pure awareness is the application of the absolute. So in this perspective, the absolute and awareness has no difference. It's identical. So in the same way, we say your awareness is infinite big and infinite small, has infinite potential to know, to understand, to study, but you can be free from any study, any phenomena, any experience, unconditioned. Make sense? Unlimited, beyond space-time. The awareness alone, which is the application of the absolute, is beyond space and time, just like the absolute. If you say there's one uh, universal connective element or connecting element that connects every human brains, every human beings for the past 10,000 years, which the number is around again 110 billion human beings that have been walking on the planet Earth. So there's one universal connecting element that connects every human beings, all these 110 billion human beings. What is that? The awareness. The awareness is connecting, the universal connecting element. Never dies. You see, it is beyond birth and death. The birth and death is only limited body and mind. The awareness never dies. So it's beyond space-time. 大方广佛华言. So yen is the application of wisdom implied into our everyday life. So there's a kind of science that you have this application into your everyday life is first, your body is relaxed. You have always relaxed body, no matter what happened outside, because you understand the truth, the ultimate truth. Everything is fleeting. Every phenomenal world, no matter how sad it is, how exciting it is, how terrible it is, how beautiful it is, it's temporal. It's transient. Transient is changing. So in the Buddha's teaching, we'll always there's a 4 states of the phenomena world. 4 states. 成住坏空. So 成住坏空 means creation, existence, destruction, and emptiness. So every phenomenon has 4 states. I mean, every physical phenomenon has 4 states: creation, existence, destruction, and emptiness. So everything arises and it disappears. So it applies to, say, this box again. It came into being, is manufactured in a factory. It's formatted now, but it will now it's come to existence. But years later, it will be dumped. It will be rotten, and it will disappear. Make sense? Everything is everything. This cell phone, these clothes, and my body, or even a star. Just different scales. A star maybe have a longer existence time, but in billions years, it will die. The sun will go. The sun will die around like 5 billion years. Every phenomena existence has 4 states: creation, existence, destruction, and empty. So it disappears to nothingness, but actually the atom is still there, or the energy is dispersed into other things, other phenomena. It's very interesting. 成住坏空. So 大方广佛华严经. Jing is the Buddha's teaching. Is actually is not only limited to Shakyamuni Buddha. Buddha is not a specific person. Buddha is a state of mind. Actually, mind is everything. How you look, how you perceive, how you understand determines how you experience. Make sense? So Buddha is not only referred to, does not only refer to Shakyamuni Buddha. There's lots of Buddhas after Shakyamuni Buddha, because a lot of human beings arrived that state of mind, Buddhahood, let's say. 大方广佛华严经. So we talk about 自性, the absolute. 何其自性本自清净. So the absolute is tranquil, is originally tranquil, originally complete, originally perfect. 何其自性本自具足, originally sufficient. 何其自性本不动摇, originally still. Is not moving at all. It's like mirror-like lake, 4-dimensional. You can imagine all the space, the whole space is a crystal-like, never moving, a crystal. But every matter, energy, atom, information is vibrating in this crystal-like space. Let's say that. That's how our mind can grasp it. And this space, like the space in front of you and in front of me, is infinite, contains infinite information, matter, and energy. Unmanifested. So if you Google Nassim Haramein, he will say, actually, any object you can see is a teeny tiny manifestation of this void, of this emptiness, which is not empty at all. It contains infinite energy, information, matter. It's right in front of you. It's right inside of us. This ultimate truth, or this let's call it entity, but it's a formless entity, a crystal-like entity. So my hand, you can see, you can touch your hand too. You can see, you can smell it, you can bite it. But this hand is a teeny tiny manifestation or materialization of the void or emptiness, of the absolute, of the unmanifested. So this hand is a form, is finite, is conditioned, is subject to birth and death. But all these conditioned, finite, subject to birth and death comes from something which is not unconditioned, infinite, and beyond space-time, beyond birth and death. Very interesting, right? So if you identify yourself with this body, you suffer, because the physical, remember again, the 4 states of um, physical or physiological existence, it will disappear someday. So if you identify with this finite, conditioned body mind, you suffer. You're not free. You cannot be free at all. So if you go to my first part 1, Flower Garland Sutra, the first, how to say, I talk about, at the beginning I talk about this 自性清净圆明体. So 自性清净圆明体 is expressed or explained in the Flower Garland Sutra, but this 自性 is also explained by 6th patriarch of Chan, Huineng. So he said, 何其自性，本自清净，本自具足，本无生灭，能生万法. So this ultimate has infinite potentials to manifest. Everything you see, touch, smell, understand is the manifestation of this absolute 自性，能生万法. There's millions, infinite manifestations. The star, the galaxy, the black hole, the molecules, the nature, the ocean, the wind, your body, your sensation, your thoughts, your understanding, your feelings, your emotions, everything. 能生万法. How beautiful it is. 本自具足. It's sufficient. Infinite potentials. 本无生灭. This absolute, the 自性, is beyond space-time, does not subject to birth and death. But every birth and death, every creation and destruction is included. Even the cosmos itself. If you look at the Big Bang, the theory of Big Bang, 13.8 billion years ago, there's a Big Bang. And now we are here. But even this cycle, this observable cosmos is in the absolute, is in the 4 states of physical existence. Creation, existence, destruction, and empty. You see, just different scales and the levels. 何其自性，本自清净；何其自性，本自具足；何其自性，本无动摇；何其自性，能生万法。And you are it. You are tranquil. You're originally tranquil, still, non-moving, non-changing. You are originally perfect, complete, sufficient. You are originally does not subject to birth and death. You are originally beyond space, beyond birth and death. You are originally beyond space and time. So you see, I repeat originally 本 it was like so. It 法尔如是. There's no question should be asked. Why and unconditioned? 法尔如是. It is so. It was so. It will be so. It's like you ask why a mirror can reflect. A mirror is called mirror because it can reflect. It's a wrong question to ask a mirror why a mirror can reflect. 自性清净圆明体 the first statement in the Flower Garland Sutra. And this ultimate has two applications. One is makes you aware. So 自性清净圆明体海印生罗常住用法界圆明自在用 So once you're aware, you enter. If you can identify yourself with the awareness only, you enter the Dharma realm. You're living your heart. You're living in the heart, let's say. Sometimes Xing is a Chinese character. Sometimes it's translated to pure mind, unconditioned mind, but every conditioned mind is included. It's like if I give you an example or analogy here. I have a cup. So this cup can contain water or any liquid, juice, beer, wine, right? So if I pour water into it, so it's a conditioning. Can you still hear me? Oh, great. So back to this cup. So if you pour a little water, if I pour a little water into this cup, so it's a temporary conditioning. But the cup itself, the space still there. You can pour it back to empty. So it's unconditioned again. So same thing as our mind. If you are stuck or you're identified with the contents of your mind, you suffer. Because the mind is not free anymore. It's like the cup is always full of water. But actually a cup, because it has a space. The space contains, it's originally empty. But if you pour water into it, it seems it's full. of water, but actually the space is originally there. It's always there. Makes sense? No matter it's you pour water or pour wine or pour beer or apple juice. So in the same way, our mind, so is our mind. You are aware. That's the basic application of the mind or the awareness. You're aware. But most of people, they are prisoned by the contents of the awareness. This body, this mind, this family, this relationship, this memory. Identification is wrong. The, the, the mind is not free anymore. The mind is full of contents. It's like a room is full of tables, chairs, like a storage room. If you look at your storage room or cabinet, it's full of stuff. It's occupied. There's no free space anymore. Same thing is our mind. So I'm talking about the two applications of the absolute law. 海应生活常住用，法界圆明自在用. If you can identify with your awareness, then you're living in the Dharma realm. Everything you can see, touch, smell. Like now, please. Taste, hear, think. All the contents of your mind becomes a Dharma. Let's say an object. Okay? So now there's a object and a subject relationship established. Everything. Let's look at your computer or cell phone. It's an object in front of you. So who is looking? The subject, the awareness. It's very easy to understand. The difficult to understand is if you look at the body, it's an object, but it's me. You see, this cell phone or this box is not me because it's object, right? I'm here, I'm looking at this box. It's not me. It's an object in my awareness. It's the contents in my awareness. But if I look at my hand, it's kind of difficult now because we always identify with this body. It's me. Actually, if you enter the Dharma realm, if you enter the realm of pure awareness, then it seems actually it's the same thing. It's just an object in my awareness. That's the difference between a world and a Dharma world, a material world and the Dharma realm. That's the difference. 海应生罗常住用. 海应生活常住用 basic meanings you are aware and you can be aware of something now. 法界圆明自在用法界 Dharma realm 圆明. So in the pure awareness, in this Dharma realm, if you really identify yourself with the pure awareness only, so it's complete and perfect already. because this awareness never die. 自在用 you can be free from any contents of the awareness. Like this cup can be free from any liquid that it contains. The space is always free, no matter what liquid you pour into this cup. My alarm didn't go as phone power off. Yeah, you see, almost 45 minutes now. So the ultimate and the two applications of the ultimate is essential teachings of the Flower Garland Sutra. If you really understand the ultimate 自性 and two applications of the ultimate 法界圆明自在用海印生罗常住用 if you really understand these two applications of the absolute, so you will understand the 5 samatthas and the 6 vipassanas, which I talked about in the past 2 or 3 weeks. So you are free from all the contents of the awareness, but you can utilize them. You can make use of it. You can love your kids. You can love your partner no matter how they act to you. Because now you have total picture. You can not only love somebody who treats you well, okay? You can also love your enemy. The Jesus teaching, love your enemy. How can you love your enemy if you identify him or her as your enemy? No way. Love your enemy means enemy is just a word pointing to something you don't like or somebody you don't like. But if you can live in the Dharma realm, you will understand that you are enemy living in the same ultimate reality too. So you he or she is part of you. Like from this pure awareness, how big is your pure awareness? Let me ask you this question. How big or how small is your awareness? There's no size. You see, your awareness has no size. So if you think about a person you love, say your first love, let's say, instantly your first love, his or her face, his or her actions or memories come back to you, and you feel good. So this reflection in your mind is included in your mind, or included in your awareness. So if you identify yourself with your pure awareness only, the reflection is the awareness, or the contents of awareness is the awareness itself. Make sense? So the memory of your first love is you. So you will love yourself, right? Do you cut your hands? Do you hit your face? No, because you love yourself. So if you identify your pure awareness, then you have this infinite big and infinite small you. Everything is you. If you're really in Dharma realm, Everything is you. So you must love yourself. You must love every contents of the awareness too. That's the essence teaching of Jesus. Quote, love your enemy. Once you live in the Dharma realm, live in the pure awareness only. Every content in your awareness is you. So you must love your enemy too, because your enemy is you, is included in this pure awareness. Everything is one, actually. You see, you the mind cannot understand this. The sixth sense, the mind, the logical reasoning, studying mind cannot understand this. But the mind itself is a finite manifestation of this pure mind, unconditioned mind. So if you are the cup, imagine the cup will love every liquid into this cup. No matter you put water or beer, juice or apple juice or ice cream in it, every contents is that contains in this space of cup is the cup itself. So the cup will love all the contents, ice cream, liquid or water. In the same way, if you live in the Dharma realm, you live in the pure awareness. Everything is you. You must love yourself. You love everything. Everything, how to say, showing up in front of you is you. So beautiful. Twin flame says, if we are the oneness, the other person will come. What's the best way to fix it? uh, and hello, honey Rana, right? Honey Rana. I don't know. I didn't know twin flame. It says that if we are the oneness, it's not if we are the oneness. We are the oneness. Okay, you see the mind. Anyway, it's a language. The other person will come. What do you mean? The other person, the person you love. Um, um, what's the best way to practice it? Traditionally, we call it meditation. So we have samathas. We have 5 samathas. We have 6 vipassanas. So again, you have to calm your mind to some level that you can study something in your mind. It's like if you drive on the highway, you cannot study a tree. You cannot study something on the highway or along the highway. Our, never stopping thinking mind is kind of, we're always driving the highway, never, stop to have a close look. So samathas, 5 samathas, you can concentrate on your breath, and flower, any technique you can calm your mind, use it. Then once you can calm your mind, you can study something. Study piano, study painting, study how to drive, study anything, okay? You have to focus your mind on something. For the awakening part, for the meditation part, you study the mind itself, the contents of the mind itself. So when you can study the mind, the contents of the mind itself, what's the contents of mind? What you see, what you hear, what you listen, what you touch, what you smell, what you taste, and what you think. That's all the contents of the mind. What you memorize, right? Once you can study the contents of mind, you study your whole world. then you have some possibility to study what are you or who are you. Otherwise, um, you will get lost. Trust me. Everybody got lost in this world because this world is so complicated, diversified, let's say. If you focus your mind on the news, you lose your mind, you lose yourself. If you cannot, if the awareness cannot emerge, you lose yourself. Very simple, actually. If the you cannot be present, the presence is not there here now, you lose yourself. You're lost in jungles of the world. You're lost in the jungle, in the complexity and the diversity of the world. Okay, maybe that's all for today. Uh, Hopefully, kind of helpful for you for your awakening. For the techniques, for the best way to practice it, you can check my meditation types, how to meditate, what is Zen, there's what is Samatha, the Samatha techniques and the Vipassana techniques. Okay, thank